Now, this is something new that I want to introduce you guys to. I want you to look at the results of another search that I did. But in this case, instead of just using Google, I use what's called Google Scholar, or as you can see on there, it's scholar.google.com. And I did all the exact same searches that I did before, right? You can see the first one, Child Soldiers United in Nations. And whereas on Google, I got 26 million hits, using Google Scholar, it was 494,000. Then when I put United Nations into quotation marks in Google Scholar, 172,000. When I put them both in quotation marks, Child Soldiers and United Nations were already down to 24,000, right? But if you look back up at top, when I did Child Soldiers and United Nations in quotation marks both, 800,000 in Google. In Google Scholar, the number goes down dramatically. Same thing when I do reintegrating Child Soldiers in quotation marks on both of them. In Google Scholar, I'm down to 398, right? In Google, I was at almost 3,000. And then as you go down the list, you can see that as I enter in the word executive summary. Now, interesting, if you look on that search, putting in the word executive summary and then executive summary in quotation marks had no impact on the results. It was very strange. I don't know why that happened. I'm not going to pretend like I understand why that happened, but it did. Okay? But then again, I decided I used the same search and I did reintegrating Child Soldiers, United Nations, executive summary, file type PDF, and now I'm down to 40 files, right? When I use the word recommendations in there, I add that, I got down to 39. When I added proposals into that, I got down to 27. And then when I added UNICEF into the recommendations and the proposals, I got down to 36 and to 26 respectively. And that is a manageable amount. So use Google Scholar to do your research. Use Google Scholar and it will help you identify. Now, the things that you'll find are going to be more dense. They're going to be more academic. They're going to be a little bit harder to plow through. But I think if you look just at the first hit, the very first hit on the when you do the search in Google Scholar, there's all kinds of cool recommendations. Now they use acronyms. You're going to have to find out what they mean in the report. So you're going to have to read some of the report. But I think what you'll find is that it's an incredibly useful tool to help narrow down even more the research. It's just going to take a little bit longer to plow through it, but the things that you're going to draw out of it are going to be far more likely to be gold than some of the other ones. So what I would say is, but it's going to be more complicated because it's going to be written in sort of a more academic style of language. It's going to be a little bit more opaque, harder to understand. But you can do that. You can figure that out. You can crack that code. And if you can't, come and talk to me or come and talk to one of the veterans, unless you're a veteran, in which case you talk to me. Okay? The way that we're going to win, the way that we're going to excel, we already know we have the talent, is we need to out-research everybody, right? We need to know more than everybody on our topic. And so that's where there's no replacement for hard work. You've got to practice at in terms of the rules and procedures. You've got to be strategic about the way you use them, right? But there's nothing that's going to replace knowledge of the topic. So I hope you'll